Hello. Today I want to let everybody in on my super secret event, my super secret agenda. Let me get the word out. My super secret agenda. That's what I was trying to say. My super secret agenda is trying to help you help yourself. Not rely on me, not rely on anybody else's or my information, but if you get a piece of information you might believe is valuable, test it out. It's free. Try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then move on. That's why I make the information available. I try to make tools available for people to potentially experience what I have or experience something that I haven't, or to come to conclusions. And that's the whole purpose behind this. But to tell you that things that you already know, such as this place is very deceptive and manipulative, and there are a lot of illusions, well, you may have suspected it, and then you could say, well, okay, here's another person that has experienced it as well and has some factual basis behind that. And it can be as simple as that. Or when people just say, well, I'm just starting to wake up and I want to listen to other information. Great. I've got probably around 60 videos on this channel or so. Some are interviews with other people, and some are just me speaking alone. And I do this to try to help you, other people. And I've said before, when I help you and you better yourself, it helps me too and everybody else. So it's kind of like I scratch your back and it helps everybody else, so that's how we work out. That's how things work. And I've also gotten a couple people that have called me out saying, okay, well, I think you're just a gatekeeper, or that you're doing this for yourself. Okay. Well, first of all, a gatekeeper is holding information back. I don't hold any information back. I give you what I have available. Okay. And if I was standing in front of a gate not letting you by, then how would me helping you help yourself block you? Doesn't make any sense. If you watched any number of my videos, if they had watched them, then they wouldn't have come up with that accusation, because you need to base your accusations on some evidence or at least something. Okay. And the other thing is, if I was doing this for me, then I'd be charging vast amounts of money. If that was for me, that's what I would do. If I was working for the other side, it would be very easy to tell, because I would be following to some degree what a lot of the mainstream thought process is and promoting it, or promoting it in a different fashion. Now, I'm the type of person that goes, if they go all the way. So if I'm going to do something, I'm not going to do it half-assed. I'm going to go full throttle. That's what I do. If I have an interest, I go all in. Okay. Now, if I was playing for the other side, I'm the type of person that people would really not like me. I would be not the type of person that people would like. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way. Okay. So if I decide I'm going to be an honest person, lay out the facts of what I've experienced and everything that I've experienced to try to help other people so that they can not just experience what I've experienced, but kind of open their mind to the fact that we are way more than what we see on a regular basis and we see on a normal basis. That's the whole idea behind there. And start to build your creative functionality, like through the plan and the solution. What that's doing is it's not just taking energy back from these other beings, but what it's doing is it's setting you up to do the creating that you normally should be doing if you weren't in this physical form. Now, I've done a lot of thought lately about, okay, so I'm not a physical being. I'm stuck in a physical body. I'm stuck in a spirit body. I'm stuck in a soul, and I'm controlled by the subconsciousness. Now, if I am conscious energy, how does that work? How does the system keep me confined within this? And I'm sure there's a trillion different answers for that. That's one of the things that I'm working on right now. So once I have an answer, then what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to the test, and then I'm going to try it, work on things to try to figure out how that works. And then I'm going to let everybody know, because that's what I do. I don't want to put more issues on your shoulders. I don't want to add more of the bullshit that you already experience every day. I'm here to offer me and you and everybody else solutions to our main problems, And if I have a solution, first I'm going to test it, then I'm going to verify it, and then I'm going to publish it. And that's what I've done so far. I want to do what we're lacking. Because people love to hear problems, they love to hear issues, they love to hear drama. It sells. Drama sells. Solutions don't sell, because that alleviates the problem from your life. If you want to keep people sick, then obviously by giving them something that's not going to cure them, but it's going to allow them to keep moving on and keep paying the bill so that people can make money off it, profit off it, that's great. That's what they do. That's good for business. I'm not a business. I'm here for a reality check, a spirituality check, whatever you want to call it. And I put a lot of information out there, and I've tried to really hammer in, what's happening to us, what's happening with us, and to try to get others to think for themselves so that you don't have to have an astral projection or be great at anything, what you would classify as spirituality or spiritualistic. But what you have to do is you have to focus on something. Pinpoint focus on it and go after it. It doesn't matter. At first, you won't think it might be possible, but there is nothing that's impossible. It's only impossible because you believe. You think that it isn't. Now, I've gone far into the soul and the spirit and that sort of thing, and what our situation is. But going over that over and over is not going to make our situation any better. So I talk about, the game. I talk about getting control of your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, that sort of thing, because those are controlling what's happening here. And I tell everybody, yeah, we have to be here every day. Okay. We still have to be here in this situation, in this prisoner functionality. We still have to live within it. So we have to make the best of what we are and what we have been put forth, what has been served to us, until we're able to change that. And that's the whole point behind the solution and the plan, is to change that. But until then, we still have to deal with this. And there's going to be ways that we can leverage our strengths so that we can make changes and make differences. Now, it would be great if we could just go ahead overnight and just change the way things are so that we are all in control individually of our destinations or our destinies. But right now, that's not the way things work. And there's always going to be some resistance. There's always going to be a lot of resistance for that. Okay, so but if you're going to check something out or whatever, that's fine. You're going to disagree with something. Make sure when you're questioning everything, you have some type of evidence behind it. So if you're going to deny something, you can say, well, I'm denying this because either I've tried it or I know it's bullshit because I've gone down that road before, whatever. But have some background in it. Really try things out. Don't rely on, well, this guy can't be right because I've listened to 15 other comments on the other channels and they say he's not right. And I had another person that said, oh, maybe you should speak with Howdy McCloskey. I'd love to see you two to get together. I'm willing to get together with anybody and debate or talk or whatever, have an interview. I'm all up for it. I don't care who it is, whether they agree with me or they don't agree with me. It's fine. If they don't agree with me, it's fine. I can debate and not get pissed off at people. and I could talk shop with anybody. That's fine. And if I don't know something, the first thing I'm going to say is, I'm not sure, I don't know. If I have an opinion on it, then I'll say, I don't know, but here's my opinion on it. So there's nobody who reached out, and I've reached out to several people in the past and have not gotten any responses because who am I? I'm Mike Martin, just a regular guy, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not this, high valued person. So when you say, oh, this person wants to talk to you and I don't have a lot of subscribers or whatever, they're going to say, well, this guy's not going to do anything for me. So no, screw him, whatever. That's how a lot of the things work. For me, if somebody wants to talk, whether they got 15 subscribers or whatever, if they can carry on a good conversation, I'm ready to go. That's the type of person I am. I can talk shop with anybody, but I just can't afford the time to speak with every single person. That's the only problem. I have to be realistic in that. So I just want to say I'm always open to conversations with people. They want to interview it, however they want to set it up, that's fine. But yeah, it's just I have to be realistic with my time. I make the videos, I do the production, I do everything myself. Everything is me. If you see it and it's on my channel, then I've done it. Unless somebody's interviewing me, then they've gone through the work. I show up and we do it. And a lot of times I just reproduce the video to get it to work for, there's not enough information on there. I'll add it so that, everybody is, so I know that the people on the other end, it's got their name or their channel or whatever. I want to make sure they get credit for whatever they've done. So that's just kind of how I work. And if I was on the other side, I'd be like, fuck everybody. I'm all for myself and I am going full throttle and I don't really give a shit what anybody thinks because that's the way it is. It's a dog eat dog. That's how people look at it. And if I was on the other side, that's exactly the way I would be. There would be no give a shit about anything else. And so, if anybody wants to question me, go for it because I'm all about that. I can debate, but I can do whatever I need to do to get things to work. Now, for me, if I'm out and I'm doing something and I can't come to an answer, that's the kind of attitude I have to take. I'm going to come to an answer, and even if I have to put forth 100% of my efforts for a long time, I just keep on it. And if I work all that hard, and if I can't get an answer that I like or that I can work with, then all that time is just thrown out. I don't care about wasting that time because it was put forth. I put forth that effort with a meaning. I meant to work on that. And even if what comes out of it is not what I expected or whatever, I'm still going to accept it because after I test it out, then I'm going to say, okay, well, it was a bit of wasted time, but I did learn something in the long run. You're always going to learn something. But none of it's really completely wasted because I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put forth 100% of my efforts. And a lot of the stuff that I've done, I go all out. And that, to me, that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. Frustration level is off the charts, and stuff like that. I'm a very impatient person. I've learned to be more patient, but just because it takes a long time doesn't mean I have to accept being patient. I just do it, and I think about it a lot. And until I get an answer or something that I can respond to or work on, might be a long time, but I'm working on other things in the meantime. But, I just want to let you know that I'm not the type to give up. And when people say, oh, aren't you worried about, I'm not worried about anything. Why would I worry? If something's going to happen, worrying about it's not going to change it. I'd rather focus on a way to not to allow it to happen or work a way around it if I have to. That's what I normally do. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are pinpoint focused. And that's great. You know, if you're going to commit, you 100% commit. It's all about committing yourself. Because if you are really really committed to get out of here, then you're going to have to do whatever it takes to get out of here. And when I give you an opportunity, when I allow you to try something and it has potential and it works for you, then go for it like a shark after your food. And that's the only way that we can really do something. You know, I mean, we're faced against a situation and an opponent that doesn't give a fuck. I mean, they don't care about our feelings, our emotions, or our situation. They don't care. So that's kind of the attitude you have to take when you're putting forth that effort. It's like, I don't give a shit what happens, what I come up against. I'm going to blow through it. I'm going to blow through it 100%. Because if I start half-assing things, and if I start believing the bullshit that the other side cares or wouldn't go this far, then you've already, it's not going to work. You know, if you're going to do something, commit yourself to it. Because that's how the people that succeed, that's what they do. 100% commitment. You know, there's just like, if it's 150%, that's fine. But that's how things work. You know, I mean, if you're going to do it, you commit to it. Commit yourself. Because if it means that much to you, just think about it. I mean, really, really, really think about it. The situation, and the more and more you think about it, and the more and more you kind of just really get into it, then you start to think, wow, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And get pissed off and use that energy. Get pissed off and utilize that energy towards your commitment. And even if you've got variations of whoever's plan, doesn't matter. If it works for you, follow through on it.